ACC with one conference test against the Duke Blue Devils. Going to have a lot of fun for you here today. Hokies in the black, Camels in the orange. And we are underway in Blacksburg with a tip going the way of the Camels and Audrey Fuller. Well, Taj, if the Camels are going to win today, Nunez for this Camels team is going to have to mean a lot for this team.
She's an incredible point guard, man. She really controls the pace, gets to the basket, makes the right passes. I think I jinxed her right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one gets swatted away. And here come the Hokies off of the turnover. Carly Wenzel running the point for Virginia Tech.
Bailey Campbell being man-to-man. They are an incredibly good defensive team, although this is a young team, not Ronnie Fisher's best, but this is where they hang their hat.
There she goes.
Rose Mishaw goes under the hoop and gets the Hokies opening bucket. That is going to be a theme, though, Mac, the defense for the Camels. How can they answer to being outsized in this game here today?
Honestly, they don't have an answer for Rose Mishaw down low. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them double team at some point to get the ball out of Rose's hands.
Courtney Dahlquist taking a three. She's the best three-point shooter in the CAA in three-point percentage. Unfortunately for her, though, that one is an air ball and another Hokies defensive stance to open out this game. Kind of a break there, and Wenzel's rerun the point. Now, Taj, we're talking about Nunez running the point for the Camels. What have you seen out of Carly Wenzel this year that you've liked running the one for Virginia Tech?
She's been doing really well. She's a scoring point guard. She's averaging a little less than 10 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. She really gets the team going.
Matilda Ekh with the floater puts the Hokies up 4-0. Dahlquist drives in. Can't get it to go. Rebound White. Talked about Lonnie White in the open. Can she push the energy for Virginia Tech here today? What a lob inside. Out of the double team, Mishaw needs an answer.
There
finds White. Oh, three isn't there.
Campbell's got to pick their poison defensively. Do they double? Do they sink down on Rose and give up some open threes? That time it worked.
Nunez turns around, follows her own shot, and resets the offense. Hadley Dill for three. Nice gold from three to start it out for Campbell. And a lost dribble on that play by Wenzel. Here comes Nunez. What a pass, good feed. And Felton can't get the layup to go. One inside to Mishaw, and both teams a little discombobulated to start out here. Megan Duffy in her first season as the head coach of Virginia Tech. Had a great career at Marquette, followed by a couple of great years at Miami as well. Former Notre Dame point guard. Now, we were talking about this before the game, and you guys both agreed that the best former players out of the best position, point guards make the best coaches.
Yes, point guards just naturally care about everybody. They want to see everybody do good. It's their job, their responsibility.
Yeah, point guards understand the job of everyone on the floor, sort of like the catcher in baseball.
Yeah, there's just no bias there from Taj at all, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
She was speaking the truth.
Yeah. There's a walk. Camels turning the ball over a little bit here. Ronnie Fisher, 9th season with the Camels. Now a couple of years in the CAA, but before that was a 3-time Big South Coach of the Year when the Camels were playing in the Big South. And it was also in the Big South as a coach at Presbyterian.
I coached against Coach Fisher way back when he was on the men's side, actually as an assistant at Furman, and we were both in the Southern Conference. Really a solid coach and an even better guy.
Yesterday got to go to his practice. Coach Fisher's introducing Mac to all of the team, all these accolades, and then he was like, and what's your name again? It was very, very nice. But lots of respect between Coach Mack and Coach Fisher.
Got some early defensive pressure.
Yeah, Campbell won't put a lot of pressure on the ball, but you start putting the ball on the floor or going toward the basket, you'll see them really get after you.
Matilda Ekh misses the mid-range. Rebound pulled down by Olivia Tucker into the game for the first time. Gigi Boone has also been a perennial starter this year. Comes off of the bench and gets the layup to go. That's going to be key for the Campbells today. Can they drive in on Virginia Tech? Ekh was open for three. Sorry about that, Taj.
Gigi is just such a great straight line driver. Tough shot right there by Baker.
Yeah, one thing Campbell must do is they have to get back in transition, and that's something they're generally very good at, but they didn't find Matilda Ekh right there.
Driving inside, Nunez spins, found a little bit of space, and it's back-to-back buckets for the Camels.
Not a big score, but she can go one-on-one.
Wenzel, kick out to Ekh.
You saw Nunez force Carly Wenzel to her left every time in transition so far.
First foul for Tucker. Matilda Ekh, we knew coming into this season that she was going to be a sharpshooter for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, last year she was a spot-up shooter because that was the role she played on that team. This year she's diversified her offensive game a little bit more, but the bread and butter is still that three-pointer.
Money.
Shot clock rolling down to 10. There's her bread and butter.
Money.
Wow.
It's a great flare screen by Rose.
It only counted as a 2, interestingly enough. So did Ekh have her foot on the line? I guess we'll find out and get a good look at the replay later. But 9-4, Hokies up. Another drive, and it falls. This time it's from another freshman, Sierra Alexander.
Campbell does that best. They're straight line drives. Virginia Tech has to really sit down and guard.
Alexander, who made that, is really playing good basketball. Kind of a wing player from a skill perspective, but one of the bigger players on this team has to play inside. She's guarding Rose Michal right now.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see with the Camels being as outsized as they are. Alexander is listed as a guard. Here comes Wenzel. Michal got a paw on it. Hokies reset. Wenzel again. In and out. Rebound Fuller.
It's a great look.
And a foul called on the Hokies. Brings us to our first break here. Got a close one so far, 9-6. Both teams trying to figure it out here in Blacksburg. Once again, playing some more basketball here today. 9-6, Hokies up by 3. Now they did look at that shot from Matilda Ekh, a confirmed 2. So for Matilda Ekh, she is leading the way with the Hokies with 7 points.
It's a great play there by
Quick
Campbell.
inside to Alexander.
Got to communicate better.
Her dad, an All-American at the University of Virginia. Played in the NBA.
I played at Fresno State as well before taking on some NBA duties in Dallas, Washington, and New Orleans. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech turning the ball over again. Cale Peterson getting some burn again for Megan Duffy's team. Coach Duffy, when we asked her yesterday, who do you think is not necessarily showing up on the stat sheet, but you think is making a big difference? And she didn't really hesitate to talk about the impact that Cale Peterson is making on this team in her freshman year.
Really like her game. She's so mature, takes her time, nothing bothers her. Not super athletic, but really skilled. And again, so mature for a freshman.
Now, Peterson originally committed to Marquette, then flipped to Virginia Tech when Coach Duffy made the move to Blacksburg.
Campbell's starting to bring that full court pressure.
Well, what do the Hokies have to do to get out of that?
Just got to be poised. Point guard got to come get the ball. Don't rush the offense.
Comes Mackie Nelson running the point. Had a Euro and a nifty-looking left-handed layup.
Mackie's been a good spark off the bench all year long. Deflecting balls, making assists, occasionally making a big basket like she did right there.
Here comes Tucker. Stutter step, another spin, and Carly Wenzel's defense a bit too harsh on the layup for Tucker's basket to go, but it's clean.
Off the handoff, just going downhill, just getting to her spots. Tough Euro. That's a tough finish.
Nelson, who was with the team last year, did not play. That's going to be a big jump. This is her first experience with college basketball this season, and you can see as the year has gone on with the Hokies now playing 11 games and now in their 12th, Nelson's got a few more responsibilities as the season has gone on, playing a lot of point guard down the stretch for the Hokies. First free throw is good for Tucker. Freshman takes her time and hits both of them.
Coach Fisher believes in bringing those players in and developing them, being in his program for 4 years.
Here's Peterson as that is swatted out of play. Well, as Mac was saying, this is a Camels team that has no transfers on the roster. They're one of 6 Division I teams with no transfers, and especially in today's climate, that really is interesting.
Yeah, and to use an overused word, it's very intentional on their part. They want somebody to come in, be part of things, and grow in their program and develop as a player.
Yes, develop is the biggest piece.
As off the top of the backboard, the threes have been tough looking so far for the Camels. Here comes Ekh on a drive, lost the ball.
I love how Nelson is just probing. She's not picking her dribble up, even though Campbell is definitely delivering some tough pressure.
I tell you what, this Camels defense is keeping Virginia Tech honest here.
They kind of stay between you and the basket, make you go around the perimeter, try to cut off all penetration, but they've lost Matilda Ekh a couple times, and that's inexcusable.
Well, the Camels, if they want to win this one here today, they cannot allow Matilda Ekh to do that, who's already in double figures for the Hokies with 10.
Campbell runs a little Princeton-type offense, trying to enter or play off the high post and leave the middle of the floor open.
Another tough shot for Tucker.
Tucker likes to come back to that right hand.
Nelson bounces inside. Peterson gets fouled.
Just a knockdown three.
Yeah, poor communication right there between the screener.
And this is a well-prepared Campbell team. Going through practice yesterday, they had every defensive set ready for whatever Virginia Tech is going to throw at them. And this has showed so far, but Matilda Ekh, until that shot, has been pretty hot for Virginia Tech to keep this at a Hokies lead of 4. But can the Camels answer here with Hadley Dill on the wing? Floater. Off the mark, rebound Karis Baker.
Good job by Virginia Tech allowing only that one shot, but again, they can't beat Campbell down the floor.
A little pistol action here.
And out to Nelson, drives out of the double team, feeding around the arc. Lonnie White, step back. Too short. Karis Baker trying to get to the floor, so is Peterson, and forces the turnover. G.G. Boone out on the floor right now. Another player to watch out for the Camels. 2 leading scorers for Ronnie Fisher's team have came off of the bench today between Gianni Boone and Olivia Tucker. Sierra Alexander comes in for Dahlquist.
Yeah, Alexander's off to a good start. Again, playing out of position, but she seems to have embraced the role.
Leading all Camel scores with 4. Off the mark shot for Baker, loose ball. And it will stay with Virginia Tech.
Audrey Fuller disagreed with that call. Their best rebounder, even though she's really a kind of a combo guard from Australia. Sister played at Davidson. She's another one of those Ronnie Fisher products that's been in the program for 4 years.
Lonnie White carries in and gets fouled. Haven't called her name much early on here, but now the Utah transfer is going to go to the line.
Campbell played really solid defense there for about 25 seconds. and then it turned into a foul. I mean, they were switching. They were really defending the right way. It looked just like that shoot-around you were talking about.
Yeah, the dribble handoff is the one that confused the defense right there.
White, a 75% free throw shooter, hits her first one.
In order to create a shot for someone else, did you like the dribble handoff or the ball screen or just whoop your man?
I actually like the fake dribble handoff. Fake dribble handoff baseline. Find your shooter in the corner. Kayla King, she's here tonight. She knows about that. I used to always find her in the corner there.
Legendary Virginia Tech shooter, Kayla King.
It has been interesting watching Virginia Tech basketball this year. Obviously, you know, with the coaching change, there's going to be a change in offense. But for years, it was a lot of that drive inside, fake, kick it out to the corner. Kayla King's going to be open. Last year, Matilda Ekh is well in there. This year, the Hokies pushing the pace a little bit more. The threes are still there, but not as much as maybe we've seen in the past.
This team, they've really been playing well together, though. Coach Duffy has done a tremendous job.
There's that backdoor cut out of the Princeton offense. Mackenzie Nelson with those good hands.
10 on the shot clock. Defense is there, and Coach Duffy a bit frustrated with that call. Just thought that was good defense. Instead, it'll be Hokies foul, just their 4th of the first quarter.
Lonnie White has 2 fouls. He's probably going to have to sit for a little while.
To make it the 3rd foul, actually, and now 2 on Lonnie White. Shot clock still on. Virginia Tech should get the ball one more time before we head to the second quarter. Comes Gemma Nunez. Swinging out to Dill. Good pump fake. Bounce, nobody's there. If the Hokies can get off a buzzer beater here. Mackie Nelson, with the clock running down, finds Ekh. Yes!
She is on fire.
Just great execution, knowing the time and score.
Take a look at this, 40% shooting from 3. That's good enough for first in the ACC.
Some big-time numbers.
It's so important because it stretches that defense. How many of Carly Wenzel's points have come because they're cheating out and she has a lane to drive?
You've seen Campbell adjust their defense already.
Another 3 for Virginia Tech. This time it comes from the sophomore guard and Carly Wenzel.
That was a great pass by Mackie Nelson.
Campbell's starting to play defense with their heels on that three-point line on Ekh. They might have to find Carly.
Gigi Boone find an answer here. Scoops with a right hand and one. Impressive play for the junior out of Washington, D.C.
Really tough matchup. Rose Michaud having to guard Gianni Boone out on the floor. This is difficult. This is a really big-time driver, and you've got your post who has to take that assignment. Nice job by Boone.
And completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Here come the Hokies, though. Look how fast Mackie Nelson is coming into the front court.
I love the way she pushes the pace. It's not necessarily to score. It's just to put pressure on the defense.
Wenzel unable to hit the baseline jumper. It'll stay with Virginia Tech. That has been the brand of basketball, though, for this Megan Duffy coach Virginia Tech team. Pushing the pace. And early on in the season, we saw a lot of times where the shot was going up with maybe 20 seconds on the shot clock as that one misses.
Great
feed
pass.
Inside,
Great
bouncing
pass.
into Felton. Layup able to go for Campbell.
Just a true point guard look. She hurt her finger a little bit, but she delivered.
Another good feed from Nelson. Michaud goes up and one.
A little point guard versus point guard action here.
Stars doing stars things right there. Nunez with the beautiful pass in transition. And then Rose Michaud, we said, they don't really have an answer for her down low. And she's played limited minutes so far, but she's still a big factor in this game.
Wow, that is 4 dimes for Mackie Nelson. Pushing up the floor, Boone. Nunez now carries inside and gets fouled.
You know she's got great vision. She was making a cut to the opening right there, knew no one was between her and the basket. Watch that cut. She knew that lane was open, took off.
Virginia Tech has to do a little better just being in the gap, playing more team defense. They're allowing too many straight line drives.
And this is that.
Nunez #1 in the CAA and assists per game as well as steals.
Yeah, if the Camels are able to come back into this game, it's going to be because of the efforts of Nunez. Meanwhile, a bit of an ambitious feed. Too ambitious, it's a turnover. Nelson evolving as a floor commander for Virginia Tech. Going to be moments like that at times in her young career. Nunez backs up. Comes Tucker. Driving down the floor. Alexander gets fouled.
Man, those straight line drives are really putting Virginia Tech in foul trouble.
And maybe that's going to be the MO here today for Campbell. Are they able to drive in, get fouled, go to the free throw line, and make this game close?
They're going to have to start knocking down some of these free throws.
Yeah, Campbell's known as the three-point shooting team, #1 in three-point attempts in the CAA. Virginia Tech running them off the line, but you got to be careful what you wish for, don't you?
Alexander misses her first. Now, Camels are 4 of 6 from the line.
And Alexander hasn't made a three this year. You know she's a driver.
Camels are 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. Hokies have hit now 4 threes of their own on 11 attempts. Ella Wells into the game for the first time. Ekh splits the double team. Good handoff to Karis Baker.
It's like a little shovel pass through that trap.
Boone goes off her body. Wells isn't able to corral it. So Wells getting some playing time. Samaya Suffren, Mac and Taj, we've seen her really add a spark for the Hokies off of the bench this year. Now she's kind of on a day-to-day scenario for the Hokies. Did not play against Radford in the last game either.
Yeah, maybe the best athlete for Virginia Tech, and really has been a spark off that bench. And somebody's got to take it. She's playing 20 minutes a game. Somebody else has to fill those minutes productively.
Another pass gets batted away. Wells recovers. Hokies in a scrum for the ball, and instead Felton wins it for the Camels. Campbell needs a shot here, down 9. Tucker from the baseline. She's got it.
It's a great pull-up.
Oh, yeah, it's so good for a freshman to recognize not to go too far.
She's playing really well this season, averaging about 11 points per game.
Nelson, amidst the traffic, gets it to go off of the glass.
That's what a good point guard does when their team needs a bucket.
Kind of looked like Wenzel with that right hand with that little kind of hook layup.
We're seeing the confidence develop for Mackenzie Nelson in real time here.
Had a great game last week against Radford with 9 assists. And again, Alexander driving that basketball. She's not going to shoot the three. You better cut that drive off.
Alexander's got 7 coming off of the bench with the and 1. But take a look at Mackie Nelson here, Taj.
Just slicing through the defense once again, not being afraid of getting in the paint, scoring over a bigger defender.
So for Nelson, she's got 4 points, 4 assists, a couple of turnovers, but solid jump for the Hokies coming off of the bench. Alexander back to the line after the and 1, and she is able to sink the free throw.
She's definitely making a difference off the bench here.
Hokies have not been able to jump really far ahead. It led at double digits just a few times, but the Camels defense forcing some turnovers, and now with those and 1s as well, making it tough on Virginia Tech. And another missed shot, rebound Alexander. Wenzel got a hand in there. Here's the steal. Hokies outnumbered down the floor for the Camels, and Mackie Nelson finishes the fast break.
I love when coaches play 2 point guards at the same time. You get a lot of speed, and they start to look for each other in transition. You get steals.
Taking a little better care of the ball.
3 on the way from Felton. The Camels have yet to hit a 3. Here comes Wenzel pushing the speed, and a charge drawn by Campbell.
Nunez does so many little things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet.
She plays both ends.
This is great anticipation. Took the right hand away, knew she had to go left. That's just really smart. From Spain? You played a little in Spain, didn't you?
Yes, I played basketball in Malaga, Spain in 2020.
And so we talked about this a little bit before the game, but how is your Spanish? I know you had a tutor, but how is your Spanish?
It's okay. I like to say I'm proficient.
All right, there we go. So the second half is going to be in Spanish then?
Oh, no.
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 Off the floor for the Hokies, only up 8. Lonnie White got a couple of fouls, dribbles it off of her shoe. And whistle called on the Camels. Brings us to a break, 30-22. Virginia Tech up by 8, but take a look at the guard play for Virginia Tech, Mac.
Defense for 8 straight seasons under Coach Ronnie Fisher.
Yeah, and Taj, they do it a lot of different ways. Yeah, they hold them point-wise down. They really contest field goals. They force turnovers, which creates offense. And even though they're a small team, they're still ranked in the CAA in blocks per game.
They're going to be outsized here today, but have kept it pretty close. Hokies picking up some fouls, and Lonnie White, who we highlighted at the beginning of the game, is now 0 for 3 from the field. Zip inside. Here's Felton. Swatted out of play. It'll stay with the Camels, much to the chagrin of some Hokie fans in the stands here at Castle Coliseum.
Yeah, Hokies without a lot of depth, and now 3 players with 2 fouls. Lonnie White, Carly Wenzel, Rose Michaud.
That's 3 starters for Virginia Tech. White, the only one out there right now of the 3 players with 2 personal fouls. Dahlquist. Nunez now. Has to get something going with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Nunez, and she walked. So another solid defensive stance there for the Hokies.
There goes that defensive pressure, just giving them a different look.
Yeah, and the pressure is not really, they're not really getting after it, not looking to force a steal, but seeing if Virginia Tech will make a mistake, and they have to defend less time when Virginia Tech finally gets it up here.
Just trying to make them think a little bit.
Virginia Tech enters their offense with just 22 on the shot clock. That's a little less time Campbell has to defend in the half court.
Layla Wells looking for her first bucket of the game. They'll go inside to Ekh, turn around, swatted around. Karis Baker playing tough down low, but the rebound pulled down by Fuller. Loose ball corralled by Felton, now double teamed, Boone.
Great
Rebound
team
Ekh.
defense there by Virginia Tech. Not letting Campbell get to a layup.
Ooh, hard foul. Boone knew it too, helps her up.
Just the 3rd foul for Campbell. Yeah, sometimes there's some judgment involved in fouls. Not so much on that one.
After the textbook foul, just a 3rd one Hokies will not shoot. Just saw there Jessica Woods out on the floor for first time in this game, sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina, playing about an average of 10 minutes a game off of the bench.
We talked about that pistol action earlier. That's just a handoff between guard to guard, letting them read and just take whatever shot they would like.
And carry that gives Virginia Tech the ball. So why would Virginia Tech go into the pistol here?
It gives you the ability just to create on offense. When you have some downhill drivers, some shooters that can touch the paint and kick out to Ekh, it's definitely the right offense to be running right now. Trying to play a little two-man game action here.
Defense still sound for the Camels.
Downhill
Nelson
drive.
tries with a drive, gets fouled. Now, to both of you all, we've watched Tech play against this defense now almost the entire half. Has this defense for the Camels gotten Virginia Tech out of what they usually like to play?
I don't think so. I think they're trying to pick on the freshmen here a little bit. They're picking their poison of who they want to attack, and it's been getting them to the free throw line.
Free throw goes for Mackie Nelson. Gives Virginia Tech a 9-point lead.
One thing that Campbell has taken away from Virginia Tech, considering Virginia Tech's size advantages, they haven't allowed offensive rebounds. Virginia Tech only has 3, and if you watch, when the shot goes up, they really do a good job of boxing out as a team.
Hey, take a look at that. Both teams have 15 boards in this game, which, like Max said, pretty interesting to see when Virginia Tech is outsizing Campbell.
I think that's just that grit, like that downhill drive.
Doesn't go. Foul called by Alexander. Moves it on the Virginia Tech side of the floor. That puts the Hokies here into the bonus.
Yeah, and a lot of the drives for Campbell have been effective, but Virginia Tech's size bothers those shots. As the closer they get to the rim, the more that size matters.
Lonnie White, 3 for 3 from the charity stripe so far today.
Her offense hasn't sparked just yet, but she's doing her job from the free throw line and definitely playing tough defense, getting rebounds, playing with her hands straight up so she won't get in foul trouble.
This is a Campbell team right now just shooting 33% and another turnover. Make that 9 turnovers for the Camels so far in this game, as opposed to 7 for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the dribble handoff, that's a point of emphasis. Got to be still.
Comes Wells. Oh, pass inside. Lonnie White was not looking for the ball.
That was caused by a good switch by Campbell, where they put good pressure on the basketball, bothering Wells' vision. Kind of get the feeling that Campbell, in order to stay in this thing, needs to finish the half strong.
Nunez has her back to the basket, turns around, finds Alexander, another drive, and yet another walk. And that's going to be one of the more frustrating things of this first half. Shots aren't necessarily falling for the Camels. They're back into this game thanks to the free throws, but they are turning the ball over at a consistent rate. That's their 10th.
Yeah, trying to do things just a little bit too fast.
I know Coach Duffy's proud over there. Virginia Tech has put together back-to-back stops.
Back up for Lonnie White. Inside to Karis Baker. Mackie Nelson has been facilitating one heck of a ball game.
It's a great find.
Timeout called by the Camels. 16 points in the paint for Virginia Tech, but Mackie Nelson now has 5 assists so far. 35-22. Hokies up by 13 into a quick break. 35-22. Hokies up by 13. Take a look at this last play, Taj. Mackie Nelson coming off of the bench. She has been threading the ball for this Hokies offense.
That's just a great over-top pass. That's a dime. We call that a dime. The defense didn't reflect it. You're feeling good about yourself. She has 5 assists. This is good.
Good recognition of the mismatch down low. Baker against Nunez, advantage Karras.
Audrey Fuller from Australia drives inside, misses the layup, and yet another foul called on Campbell.
And another point-blank shot bothered by Virginia Tech's size at the rim.
Another look at this foul here. Campbell has not been afraid of driving inside. They just haven't been able to finish like they would like.
Yeah, not much there.
I didn't see the foul.
Not much there. There were some hands touching people, and Coach Fisher kind of had the same opinion we did. And he cannot win that argument. I've done this.
Well, it looks like, Mac, that referees are undefeated in those arguments. And for Virginia Tech, it favors them. 37-22. Nelson now has 9 off of the bench for the Hokies. And a 9-0 run for Virginia Tech.
See if they can get another stop.
Tech forced some turnovers here. There's been 10 turnovers. Campbell averaging pretty low, 13.8 turnovers per game. And that'll be another one, 11th turnover. Take a look at that, 11 turnovers, leading the CAA on 13.8 turnovers per game. Bill Peterson trying to get a bucket here. Here comes Ekh. Wow, what a layup she has had. One heck of a first half, leading 15 points now. Open 3 for Dahlquist. No good. And Campbell might just finish the first half without hitting a 3. Matilda Ekh, meanwhile, misses there.
We talked about being present earlier. She's definitely present. She's balling.
So 39-24. Hokies trying to have another buzzer-beating play, but instead it'll be the Camels with a chance after an offensive foul.
You need your point guard to get the ball there and just control the pace, get that last shot.
Hokies right about their average, 9 turnovers here in this first half. Something that's still been a concern for Coach Duffy and the Tech ladies.
Comes Nunez, clock rolling down, finds Tucker in the corner, and it is off of the mark. Solid play there, but the Hokies with a big run at the end of the first half, 39-24. Nelson and Matilda Ekh, the star. It's always going to be a challenge to do that Virginia Tech, with the success of the last few years, has been able to do pretty well. Drive inside. What a start to the third quarter from Gemma Nunez on a perfectly executed play.
That's what you look for. That right there is probably the first option of the play that never gets, you rarely never get that first option. You kind of just cut through, but it was there. She just gave it to her.
Yeah, it's there just to kind of test the defense, see if they're paying attention. They weren't.
Got to be present.
Can't plan that trip home.
Well, Nunez into the wing, dribbles behind her back, trying to get a shot up, and instead passes out to Fuller. Shot clock running down to 3. Fuller, left hand, doesn't hit any of the rim. It'll be a shot clock violation. So Hokies leading by 13. And we highlighted Lonnie White at the beginning of the game, as well as Olivia Tucker. We haven't seen as much production out of the 2 stars we highlighted in the beginning.
I'm not sure if it's the defense. Lonnie's been playing really, really hard defense, trying to keep Campbell out of the paint.
And Tucker came off of the bench to start the game. She starts out here in the third quarter as Rose Mishaw misses the mid-range, pulled down by Felton on the rebound. Going coast to coast, Jasmine Felton. 2 drives already in the third quarter for the Camels.
Got to stop the ball in transition. No matter what's going on, that ball has to come to a halt.
Here's Wenzel, air ball, Mishaw right there.
Was that an air ball or was it a pass?
You
do you
know
think,
what?
Matt?
The point guard thinking automatically, I need that assist. That was an air ball. Sorry, Carly.
It's a great pass.
Scoop around to Dahlquist. Camels are now 0 of 9 from beyond the arc. A team that tries to pride itself on hitting a good amount of threes. Dahlquist being the main one, and she has started out now 0 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Dahlquist a post player defensively, but on offense, she's a three-point shooter. 38% leads the CAA, but not so much here this afternoon in Blacksburg.
Ones was kind of hanging her head after that turnover. I like to see her more at the 2. I think Nelson and her does a great job playing off each other.
Nelson likely going to comes off of the bench here in the third quarter. Felton. Here's Nunez, thought about the 3. Has to think about something here with the shot clock rolling down. Finds Felton at the buzzer, and another air ball.
She kind of bobbled it there. That was a great find by Nunez.
Matilda Ekh loads up for 3. Offensive rebound almost there, and it leaks out to Tucker. Nunez for the triple. Off of the backboard.
Nunez not shooting the ball well from 3 on the season, but she has made some big shots, and she's not afraid of the big moment.
Mishaw with a bounce feed to Lonnie White. Baker's there. Comes Nelson. She'll take it herself. She's been feeding everyone the whole game, and now she's into double figures with 11.
She's got that right-hand hook down pat.
Yeah, she is doing her Carly Wenzel impersonation.
Timeout called by Ronnie Fisher. Hokies up 15, 43-28 in the third quarter.
Connecticut.
Mackie Nelson with 11 points. She's got 5 assists as well. She showed she is not scared to drive the ball inside, and that was not a high percentage layup as she just hit, but made it look easy with the Hokies up now 15. For the Camels, 6 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Still trying to get the shooting going. They are shooting 32%, and they are 0 of 11 from beyond the arc. Gigi Boone scoops left hand and a bit short.
That's great defense by the Hokies, keeping them outside the paint,
Yeah,
not allowing no straight line drives.
Karis Baker sealed her off, didn't she?
Harley Wenzel gets fouled.
Hokies have done a good job. They forced 11 turnovers, and they've committed some themselves, but the Hokies scored 14 points off those turnovers, which is about the difference in this game.
The turnovers have been aplenty, unfortunately, for Campbell with now 12. Virginia Tech fails to get the shot in there. Right back to the Camels.
Pass or air ball, Taj?
That one definitely was an air ball.
Just checking. And see what that point guard bias was.
Something I don't see much often this year in the women's basketball game is get into a mid-range pull-up.
Here comes Lonnie White in transition. Didn't need a mid-range there. Hokie scored quickly.
Nelson comes up limping. We'll keep an eye on that.
Now going back to your point, Taj, why do you think that is?
Maybe just not knowing the correct read. You have a defender backing up below the free throw line. You have to pull up and shoot that jump shot.
No points for the Camels in over 3 minutes. Foul called down low on the Hokies.
And we saw Olivia Tucker do that in that first half. She went by her defender rather than go all the way in and take a contested shot. Pulled up for a nice 10-foot shot. Impressive for a freshman to do that. But more people need to do it, to your point.
Yes. You see it a lot in the men's game.
And an offensive foul.
Illegal screen. It looked like Alexander's fourth.
So second team foul here in the third quarter for the Camels.
There's the illegal screen for sure.
Definitely.
She actually fouled 2 people, but only got called for 1 foul.
Nelson's limping a little bit. I guarantee you she still finds a way to lead this Hokie team.
Driving inside again. Maggie Nelson's been the story of the day for Virginia Tech. You can talk about Matilda Ekh lighting it up, but Nelson has just been an absolute spark off of the bench.
It hurt until she saw an open lane.
She didn't feel anything on that drive.
No.
Yeah.
The foul burned on Virginia Tech again. So Nelson's got 13, yet another layup.
And not a good job on the switch right there. When you switch, you have to stop the basketball. And they stayed on her side. She recognized it, got all the way to the basket. Now she's going all the way to the end of the bench and check on that injury.
Erin Cass knows what she's doing over there. She'll be
does.
back.
She does. Hokies with great sports medicine and strength and conditioning folks.
Bounce into Woods. A size mismatch. Carly Wenzel makes it tough for her, and the shot misses. Now Virginia Tech's largest lead, up 19. Inside to Rose Mishaw. Mishaw maneuvers through defenders.
Such nice patience. You love a post player that plays patiently and is always the second player off the floor.
So a 10-0 Hokies run.
Campbell's got to get a bucket here. They've been scoreless for about 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Comes Boone. Shot clock ticking down. Woods, no good. Virginia Tech has forced this Campbell's team to work all the way into the shot clock, and they are not getting great shots off here in desperation. 21-point lead for Virginia Tech, 49-28. Taj, we were talking about the fact that Virginia Tech right now is picked to make the NCAA tournament. You got to think with a few more wins, they could potentially jump up, maybe get safely in that 35 range to try to get in at the end of the season.
Well, you know, in the Power 4 conferences, you've got, or Power 5 if you count the Big East in basketball, you've got a lot of opportunities to move up because of all those highly ranked teams. So the Hokies will have to do their job, keep playing better basketball, but there is certainly a path forward for them to go to the NCAA tournament.
No points in almost 5 minutes, and another offensive foul booked on the Camels.
They'll have a lot of time to prepare. I mean, they open up to Florida State January 2nd. They don't have a game after the Christmas break. So they'll have a lot of time to reboot after the holiday.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing. The Hokies don't have a game, like Tosh said, until January 2nd. There is no other game in that time span. That's got to be difficult, right, as a student athlete, Taj, where you don't have a game for 2 weeks?
Yeah, you get tired of practicing against each other. You want to practice against another jersey.
Fortunately for women's basketball, they do have the guys team to play against a little bit, but you know for the men's teams, they're just beating on each other.
You get tired of them too.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Carly Wenzel scoops inside under duress.
The Hokies have had an unusual schedule. They haven't played. This is only the second game in the last 2 weeks, and now they're going to have 2 weeks completely off.
Hopefully it works out in their favor.
We'll give you a chance to heal up those little nitpicking injuries.
And they look back when ACC play does start. Florida State here day after New Year's Day, and then going down to Miami and Georgia Tech in a pretty tough road swing in the midst of January 5th to January 9th.
But that's how you move up in that RPI and the net. And also, of course, you get to see the #1 scorer in the country here for Florida State and Tania Latson.
That's a great rebound by Dahlquist.
Yeah, Dahlquist hadn't gotten going on the offensive end, but she's still done a decent job using the only size they have on the defensive end.
Lonnie White, she hasn't been doing great on offense, but she's been on those boards. She has 5 rebounds already.
Campbell's right now 0 for 11. Another turnover from beyond the arc. And we have talked about the fact that their three-point shot has been so consequential to how they play as a team. They have made a three-pointer in 90 consecutive games. Right now, they are in danger of breaking that streak.
I say they keep the streak alive.
Carly Wenzel heating up, though, for Virginia Tech. She's got back-to-back baskets. That one a three.
She has her own streak going.
There you go. Sometimes you just got to see the ball go in. So both teams running pistol action here.
Nunez for three. Now 0 for 12. One-arm rebound, Karis Baker. Lonnie White down the floor. Bit too hard.
Right there, you just got to know the feel for the game, you know. Carly just hit a big-time three. Find her again in the corner. Force a timeout.
Mackenzie Nelson. That ball hit her off of the head. She is favoring her head off of that good defensive effort where she got a hand on the ball.
Leads the team in steals. Almost had another one right there.
Camels don't look like they're in any sort of hurry here.
Trying to find that downhill drive.
Going to be from Alexander. Spins and a walk before that. Well, Camels playing in their third game against an ACC opponent this year. Played on the road in all of them. The closest one only lost by 5 to Miami. Wake Forest able to get the victory pretty soundly against this Campbell team. But this is a team that can play sound defense to try to get you out of your system here, but offensively unable to convert. Another missed layup.
You know, Campbell played Wake really tough. They actually led the entire game up until the fourth quarter.
Sure did. Played really well. I was watching the game, and I got to halftime, and Campbell's ahead. And I went back and looked at the score to see if it was real.
So 63-46. They were leading the Demon Deacons at half. Troubled handoff there. Wells able to track it back down.
It's a nice pass.
Comes Mishaw. Mishaw finds her way to the hoop.
It's a great finish. As a point guard, you almost hope that she doesn't bobble it so you can get that assist.
Coming off of a tough game against Radford where she didn't score but had 10 rebounds.
Yeah, and quietly here, I feel like we haven't talked about Rose Mishaw a lot. She's got 10 points now. Boone misses.
Karis Baker has really been on the boards, just getting her hands on the ball, deflecting, and sometimes even tapping to other people to get the rebound.
Here comes Wenzel. It's a block. And Carly Wenzel will go to the line for 2 shots. Oh, look at this one.
Tough drive.
Got there too late. You like if you're a coach, you like her giving that body up, but she was just there too late.
That's been a big part of Carly Wenzel's game this year. Drive in, get fouled, go to the line. She's taking more free throws than anybody on the team. Misses that one. It was her first free throw of the day.
Number 4 in the ACC in free throw attempts.
And goes 1 for 2 in that trip. Virginia Tech outscoring Campbell in the third quarter, 18-6.
Uh-oh, here comes the sniper.
Matilda Ekh back in action.
8 seconds left. Nunez trying to drive inside. Good find. Out to Tucker for 3. Karis Baker.
She's really on the boards. Karis is everywhere.
So a hard-fought rebound for Karis. Might have gotten bonked in the head by either the ball or an elbow. She is still out there and now running the point for the Hokies again. Now, Mac, what would you like to see out of the Camels here in the final 10 minutes of this game?
Well, I mean, this is still really valuable to them. They're not going to see anybody as good as Virginia Tech in their conference. They need to just keep battling and find out what works. And Coach needs to find out who he can trust when the lights are on.
So now 57-30. You got to think, Mac, just trying to get back into this game. Something else they want to see, that three-pointer they made in 90 consecutive games, they are still 0 from beyond the arc.
I'm still positive about that. They're going to get it.
0 for 13.
Oof.
And a pass miscommunication that bounces into the scorer's table.
Coach is over there talking to Nunes like, don't fake a back door.
Yeah, your senior leader. You got to make that play.
Kind of a frustrating day. Maya Hazelton into the game for the first time for the Hokies. 18 turnovers for Campbell, but answered right back with one for Virginia Tech. That's their 13th.
Got to set your feet.
We've seen a lot of illegal screens, offensive fouls by both teams.
Hazelton got a hand on it. Turnover again. 19th one of the game. Baker steps into a three. She was wide open and took it.
That is a big-time shot. She stepped into the transition three with confidence. Pretty left-hand shot.
It had been a while since the Hokies shot a three. Karis Baker's first of the game.
She's everywhere.
And answers it with a rebound and draws a foul.
Frustration for Gianni Boone.
Karis has 8 rebounds now, 7 points.
That was deep enough to get an extra point, I think.
And we've talked about a good amount of players in this game that have jumped from Matilda Ekh's role last year now to this year as well. Karis Baker has also taken on a bigger role with this Virginia Tech team than we saw in her freshman season.
Yeah, averaging almost 7 points more than a year ago.
There's Wells. Matilda Ekh loads up another tray.
Dahlquist with another good rebound. Hokies do a good job in transition of getting back. There was that three-point opportunity for Dahlquist.
Another offensive foul. You're right, Mac. This seems like an anomaly how many offensive fouls we have seen in this game.
It really has, and both teams continue to attack. Dahlquist right there, the shot fake, and then puts it on the floor. That's not what she does well. She does, the best thing she does is shoot that three-point on the offensive end.
Ekh coming out there. I think she's just trying to find her three-point shot. But if you think back to the first half, she was just letting it come to her. She wasn't forcing anything. Point guard found her for open looks.
Coach Duffy has said there have been up and down times this season for Matilda Ekh, but you've seen how high the ups can be after that first half, particularly the first quarter of this game. Wells. The Baker scoops with the left hand and going to the line.
Campbell definitely forcing Virginia Tech to use the entire shot clock lately this half.
And it has worked out for the Hokies for the most part. They've had to work a little bit harder on some of these buckets, and really the highlight of the second half, though, has just been Campbell has been unable to find a shot. Still, we are now 2 minutes in to the fourth quarter. No shots have fallen for Campbell and only scored 6 in the third quarter.
You think back to that first half with Matilda Ekh with 15 and take her out of the equation, it was a tie game. That's the kind of difference she has made in this contest.
It's a great point, Mac.
Audrey Fuller trying to go downhill, instead picks the ball up, and Nelson poked it free, but illegally, says the official. It's a foul on Nelson.
She got away with one. She went back for another.
That's her third.
The referee raised his hand the first time, let it go. Second time, he said, oh.
On the baseline, out of bounds play, offensive foul.
The only thing that would have been worse right there if that shot had gone in. And they took it away with the offensive foul. But I thought Dill was going to have a wide open look, and she did. But she did because of the illegal screen.
I'll bet you a Christmas gift they'll make at least one today.
There you go. You're on.
All right. Stocking stuffer on the line. 61-30. Here comes Wells. Finds herself in a double team, mid-range for Karis Baker.
That left hand is just so pretty.
A nice pass by the freshman. You missed an opportunity to give a little point guard
No,
praise.
that's right. She got that paint touch, realized the double, threw a kickback.
And a bucket falls for Jasmine Felton, ending the drought for the Camels. Bounce gets tipped. Baker able to find it. Fighting down low. Baker up against Dill. Swing it out to Wells. Try to return the favor. Wrestling match to the floor. Jump ball gives the ball back to the Camels, but the Hokies with a customary round of applause there on the effort.
Wells had a good look at it that time. She's really a good shooter. The first thing we say about Wells every time is what a great athlete she is, because she is, but she really has a nice three-point stroke.
Wells has gotten a good amount of playing time here today, with Samaya suffering out, and then a sling day-to-day for the Hokies guard.
I would like to see her be more aggressive on defense. You know, sometimes athletes don't realize how athletic they are. And I think she can really just frustrate the other team's point guard.
Another look at this.
Fan favorite?
Yeah, Ramaya White coming in, getting the applause. Originally was a Kentucky commit, now at Virginia Tech. Making sure that the scorer's table, I believe, has the time right. And 2 shots coming for Sierra Alexander. This is the front end of 2 free throws. And the Camels, who had that great really run there at the end of the second quarter of driving, getting fouled, that is the first couple of free throws the Camels have seen since the first half. Answering it with a bucket from Alexander, though, after the misses.
Yeah, and her first bucket of the second half after having 8 in the first half. Of course, she's been on the bench a lot with foul trouble. Got 4 out there right now.
Only Campbell in double figures. Nelson draws the foul herself. And is that it for Sierra Alexander?
Actually, they only have her for 3 on the official stats.
So that is the 4th one for Sierra Alexander. So 4 on Dahlquist as well as Alexander now for the Camels. Hokies have a couple of players with 3. Maya Hazelton has not been in the game very long. She's already racked up 3 personal fouls. Mackenzie Nelson also with 3.
Got to get in that stat sheet.
Nelson misses. Rebound Baker. Wells wide open for 3. Back to Campbell.
Baker's just 1 rebound away from a double-double.
See what Jessica Woods can do. Matched up with Nelson. Penetrating inside. Woods layup can't fall. Another foul. And some frustrated fans here, as the game is starting to lack a little bit of rhythm here in the second half.
Hey, Mark, would you let Alexander play with 4 fouls right now, or would you take her out?
Let her play. This game is over. She's a freshman. She needs the time on the court. But she's got to be playing full speed. She can't be playing timidly because of that foul. And I don't think she has much timidness about her just based on what we've seen.
No, definitely a blue-collar player trying to be anywhere the ball is.
Oh, miss from the line.
Your dad's an All-American, college All-American. You don't have much timid about you.
Oh, Karis Baker, look at that. 10 points, 10 boards, first career double-double. Ball leaking out to Wells. Cross-court fine, 5 on the shot clock. Lonnie White trying to get something up, misses everything. Shot clock violation. Brings us to a timeout. Hokies up by 30, 64-34 with 5 minutes left to go. Absolutely incredible. Always a great time here in the holidays in the New River Valley. You guys both be going back to Richmond, Virginia for Christmas, right?
That's right.
Gotcha.
We're going to hang out over there on the south side of Richmond.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to go get some Mexican together, talk basketball.
We'll tap into this food knowledge. Ties cold.
Bad day to be a plate of arroz con pollo.
Bailey showing that knowledge.
Yeah, the chicken and rice expert. Wells able to track it down. They're backing up. Layla Wells able to scoop it home.
There's again, Taj talked earlier about sometimes you play defense for 25 seconds and then the last 5, got a problem.
Yep.
Now, while we were watching that play develop, I couldn't help but hear some fans try to cheer, "We want biscuits." So the Hokies have the 75-point threshold. Everyone can get sausage biscuits at Bojangles if Virginia Tech women's basketball scores 75. They don't even have to win. It looks like today they will likely get the victory. But last game against Radford, Virginia Tech is up big against the Highlanders. They get down to 73. They miss a layup on a great pass from Mackenzie Nelson. That would have been her 10th assist. A layup is missed. And then the Hokies get the ball back with the shot clock off. And the fans actually booed Coach Duffy.
Yeah.
They booed.
She shook her head.
Things get serious. When you talk about Bojangles, things get serious.
Exactly.
And it would have been not the best sportsmanship to do that, to just cash in on $2 sausage biscuits. But the fans, I mean, it got loud in here over biscuits. So the Hokies ended with 73 when they needed 75.
I am not going to criticize that.
No.
Coach Duffy understands.
She did. She did.
The first thing she said on the radio in the post-game show was about apologizing for the lack of biscuits.
Well, Hokies going to have to get busy to get there today, but it's possible.
And 9 points.
We need a 3.
Lonnie White is there.
The odds just took a big step up.
Big time shot by Lonnie.
Now Lonnie White has 9 points, highlighted her in the open. Played a solid defensive game, now hitting her first 3 of the ball game. Emerson Thompson into the game for the first time for Campbell. There's a block from the freshman Peterson.
That's great weak side help.
Realize good timing on those things, too.
Shot will not count. Waved it off.
It's a good post feed.
Another look at this block.
Look at that weak side help. That's good court awareness by the freshman.
And Coach Duffy talked about how she had had a great week in practice. And once again, she said, you're not necessarily going to see it on the stat sheet just yet. Peterson is 0 for 1 from the field. She's attempted only 1 shot, but she's got 3 rebounds and a big block right there. She's going to be a big factor for Virginia Tech moving down the stretch into ACC play.
+8 on the plus minus.
That's always good. And it isn't like Virginia Tech's got a lot of depth. She's going to get quality minutes against some quality players on some quality teams.
Agreed.
And Ramaya White hits both free throws.
Sausage biscuits.
So we are officially on biscuit watch. You know how when you watch baseball and somebody's on no-hitter watch? This is biscuit watch.
Watch, warning, whatever we need.
Swatted away under the hoop. Comes Tucker, spins and scores. Not a lot of shots like that have fell for Campbell, but you think it's going to be still a great career for Olivia Tucker moving forward.
That is a big-time shot. Turnaround, fadeaway, mid-range.
Pass was telegraphed. Lonnie White got it back only for a moment. Tucker moving for the Camels, and she's got back-to-back layups. I think that first one a shot, actually, so back-to-back shots falling. Ramaya White wide open on a great feed from Lonnie White.
I think both teams just have to be better at getting back in transition.
Yeah, neither one made good plays right there on the defensive side, but it was fun to watch, though.
Yes.
The streak is going to end, it appears, in terms of the three-pointers made for Campbell. And Virginia Tech has quite a long streak of their own going on.
So 73-40, a game that Virginia Tech has dominated. Mackie Nelson getting her curtain call here.
Now, you know, if they don't hit a three, I owe you a Christmas gift. We agreed on that.
I would still rather give up the gift to keep their streak alive, but you want good things to happen to these young folks. They don't want to be the team that broke the streak.
I think they're going to hit one.
That's been a tough game down the stretch for this Camels team. Sierra Alexander leading the way, the only Camel in double figures. She is now fouled out. Here we go.
Danger zone for the Biscuits.
Biscuit morning.
Biscuits are in harm's way right now.
Shoot it.
Here's Cale Peterson. Is this Biscuits? Yes!
What a way to do it. Freshman says, I got this.
Mac, you talked about her form earlier. That was a pretty shot.
Isn't it nice?
You can smell the sausage already for tomorrow. And a foul called on the back end. So 76-41, Layla Wells. That was her second basket of the game, first three.
As you go through the drive-through, thank you, Layla.
Eska Woods hits her first free throw. So we've talked a good amount about what we wanted to see out of the Camels here in the second half. If you're Coach Duffy in this game, Mac, what do you think you've learned about your team?
I think they're getting better and better at understanding the challenges. You know, and you think about, I mean, it's not a coincidence that Campbell is struggling from three. Virginia Tech had something to do with that. And then early, they took away the three, but gave up some drives. And here in the second half, they've done a better job of taking away the three and contesting the drive. So I think they're understanding. As you go deeper into the year, you understand more about how strategy actually works.
No doubt. It's a lock-in week on their scouting reports, and then just coming together as a team to really lock in and build chemistry and get a win before break.
That was one of the things you were really good at. You understood the scout, which is so valuable.
1 minute remaining.
You have to think, with a minute remaining here, Hokies improved to 9-3. A lot of expectation was on this team to potentially struggle to begin the year. Now, those three losses, you might have learned something, but this is a Virginia Tech team as they turn the ball over. That has certainly achieved a lot here in the year 2024 to start out with Megan Duffy's career, and a block on the back end.
Yeah, and it's a big deal that they're undefeated at home so far this season. The freshman.
She got her on the wrist a little bit.
Good hustle.
And Maya Hazelton came in, got 4 fouls. Nelson ends the day for Virginia Tech, fouled out, but 5 for 5 from the field. In a game where we have seen 42 personal fouls.
Campbell has missed 10 free throws this game.
Feels like 41 of them were offensive fouls.
Yes, all of them. Peterson for 3. Threes are falling for the Hokies right here at the end.
The freshmen all getting in on the action.
Promising future for this Virginia Tech team. Transfer and 4 freshmen on the floor. Thompson gets it to go off of the glass.
You know who's really happy right now? Coach Duffy.
She provided breakfast.
She can have him hold this basketball without any repercussions.
Hokies start out the year 9-3. Final game going into just ACC play, and a big break coming up for Virginia Tech. Won't play again until January 2nd, but Campbell falls to 6-5.